All right, welcome guys. I'm Ali Mona. If I've not met you yet, or if you're watching the recording, this class is one of my favorites because I don't even go like 2 kilometers down the road to get my kids from school without my essential oils. So we're talking traveling kind of into bigger places, but I don't go anywhere because you never quite know what you're going to need. So I'm going to show you what is in my purse always. Um, These are little 1 ml bottles. 1 ml has maybe, depending on the thickness of the oil, the viscosity of the oil, maybe about 25 drops. You can see the empty places because it's also a really good place to put samples. So if people are struggling with whatever, you can just get a sample out. One of my favorite stories was there was a friend of ours who had just gotten pregnant. And so in Shanghai, she lives on one side and she was traveling on a very early morning bus, first thing in the morning, an hour and a half on the local bus. And so with all of the smells and all of the craziness, she was just feeling way more nauseous than usual. And so we were at a party one night at a friend's house and I gave her all of my citrus. I was like, try this, try this, try this. And then obviously I replaced it, but I love this. It's hard case, so it's perfect for traveling. And this again just stays in my purse. It's super light, and I have crazy things in here like myrrh and cinnamon and juniper berry because you never know when someone's going to need something, right? Someone has a migraine, you want your helichrysum and your juniper berry right there to give them a migraine blocker on the back of their neck, right? So as you begin to get more and more oils, something like this, having something like this on hand, it's fantastic. All right. So as you're here, guys, go ahead and grab some sort of fun emotional oil, maybe from the emotional aromatherapy kit or the mood management kit here, and get yourself in the mood for a little bit of learning. There was an intro, how I travel with oils. I'm like the perfect person to talk about this because I don't go anywhere, again, without my oils. So let's see. What we're going to cover today in this class is some very common travel challenges. So this is not an intro class. This is a continuing ed class. So if you are missing the basics of essential oils, like what they are and how to basically use them, you need to go back and either watch the intro class that we've created or go to an intro class in your neck of the woods. So we're not going to talk about what oils are and how they work. We're going to talk about which oils to use for these common situations. Pre-travel stress, sleep, traveler's belly, anything that has to do with the digestive system, travel anxiety, germs, ears, bugs, and then, of course, jet lag. So the first thing, I have 4 daughters, 6 and under, and so in this season of our life, like planning and packing for traveling is so stressful. And I don't love I love traveling. I love when I'm at a place, but the whole getting there thing, the airports or the trains or whatever, is quite stressful for me. So make sure that you have one of your favorites or a couple of your favorite emotional aromatherapy oils on hand as you're planning and packing. The 6 kit is the emotional aromatherapy kit. It's available as a kit here in China, I think in other markets as well as individually. So when you run out of one, you don't have to go ahead and get the whole pack again. You can just pick up that one. Out of all of these, I have to say Motivate and Console are probably my favorites, and they're on opposite ends of the spectrum. Motivate is to encourage you, to uplift you, and Console is to kind of bring you down. Or maybe it's used when you're down to make you feel better. But for me, it has lavender and ylang ylang, and it's just a very calming oil for me. And then, of course, the trio of Serenity, which is lavender peace in our market here in China, Balance, and Citrus Bliss. We work a lot with this kit. First of all, this kit is not available like this, I don't believe, at least in the US. I don't know about in Hong Kong, but it's heavily discounted. It's 50 points, so it's great as an LRP edition, but also it does everything emotionally. So Serenity and Balance are both kind of bring you down, relaxing oils. And then Citrus Bliss is an uplifting one. So I love Balance because it's super masculine. So for the men in our lives, if they're not super thrilled about the flowers or the citrus, Balance is fantastic. And I don't know a single spouse here, at least, that couldn't use a little bit of stress and anxiety relief. So Balance is one of my favorites and one of my husband's favorites as well. And then we use Serenity and Balance at night too. And I think we talk about this a little bit later when we talk about sleep, to help us get really good sleep. So make sure you have one of those on hand as you're beginning to look at traveling. While you're in transit, this is huge. When you're going up or you're coming down, or for your kids, especially little ones who can't regulate their own inner ear pressure, these are some fantastic options. Eucalyptus is one. That's a single oil. You can just inhale it directly from on the flight, or you can rub a little bit behind the ears. But then, of course, there's one of our favorite blends, Easy Air or Breathe. You can just inhale it. I put a little bit here on me so that I'm continually getting the benefits of the oil, especially for immunity as well. I know before I had oils, people would rub like vapor rub here to help with immunity, because all the germs, circulating in the air in the airplane. But now we have something that's toxin free. So you can do the same thing with Easy Air. And then again, you can use the drops as well. So being able to suck on the drops, obviously you wouldn't give it to a child who could choke on it. But for us, as we start to regulate our ear pressure in the cabin, we can use the drops as well. If you don't have either one of those, many people have peppermint on hand, and you can use peppermint. So in the airport, I have never had this confiscated. I don't know if you guys have. You can put a note here in the chat. But if people, they always ask, right? They always ask what it is. And I say, medicine. And they go, oh, okay. This is another one. Obviously, my rollers have been disappearing, but this is a doTERRA roller case, and it's really nice. So this is great for those of you who have the diluted touch rollers. We'll talk about those in a minute for travel. But also in here is Past Tense, Intune, the On Guard Peppermint Melaleuca. I keep a Claricalm in here as well. And then these little guys, it works with rollers, but also with 5 or 15 mils. And this is, I believe, a Hope and a Peace. So this has been also in my purse recently. Oh, On Guard. You cannot travel without On Guard. Please don't ever travel without On Guard. There's a great recipe on throat spray and hand sanitizer here. So throat spray, right, especially if you're on a long flight, your throat can get quite dry, and you want to protect it from the germs as well. So here's a great recipe: 8 drops of On Guard and 8 drops of lemon in some distilled water, and then you can just spray it into your throat, this is funny because this is my cleaning spray recipe minus a little bit of vinegar. So I had to laugh about that as I was putting this together. But it's really nice while you're traveling to help protect your throat from the germs that you're going to come up against. And then hand sanitizer, we know how harmful regular hand sanitizers can be. That is no secret, even in the outside of the essential oil world. You can have a read through that. It's a lot of alcohol, and if your kid gets it for some reason, they could drink it and it would be pretty bad for them. So we can do a natural hand sanitizer. Note here that when you put aloe vera and vitamin E, it doesn't last super long, right? So there's no preservative in it. So if you're going to make a hand sanitizer, get a smaller bottle, and then just use it. Use it consistently. This is one of the tips that Maria had talked about this morning, is that it actually doesn't last super long because, again, we're not putting preservatives in it for a reason. The other thing that we do in our house, and again, your kids have to be a little bit older to not put On Guard in their eye, is we actually just use the regular On Guard and drop a drop and then rub our hands together. So your kids have to be pretty old to do that. Does it get rid of everything? I don't know. I don't know if one drop does the whole hand, but it's certainly helping more than it is hurting. Calming. I love this picture. That poor guy. It's actually a Sonic ad. But we know how challenging flights can be, whether you're the one that has the kid or whether you're the one that is surrounded by kids who are inevitably upset or screaming or whatever it happens to be. These are a couple of fantastic oils. Again, use what you have on hand. This is why getting little batches of oils each month is so powerful, because you can try different things and see what works for you. This is like, how do you liken it? Like, you go to the doctor, right? The medical doctor, and you have symptoms, and they'll say, okay, well, we'll try this first. And if it doesn't work, come back and we'll try something else. Essential oils are the same thing. You've got to find something, especially when it comes to emotional support and calming. I find you want to find something that works for you with your distinct body chemistry. So here's a couple of options. Balance, we talked about that. Surrender and lavender peace, that was the other one in the mood management kit. Straight up lavender. Vetiver, which is a single oil. In-tune focus blend, that's the one that goes up here and on the bottoms of your feet. Peace and Forgive are also in that emotional aromatherapy kit, the 6 smaller bottles. And then Cedarwood, which if you guys got the product of the month this month here in China, I'm not sure what it was in other parts of the world, but Cedarwood was the product of the month. So if you're traveling and you got your Cedarwood, fantastic. So how do you use them? You can inhale them. Always smell your oils if you like the smell, because it's affecting your limbic system, which is helping you manage your moods and your stress. You can also apply on the bottoms of your feet, back of the wrists, and neck. So when we talk about oils for calming or emotional health, we can put them on like perfume. You can also put a little bit over your heart if you're feeling a little bit unbalanced there. Great for planes, but also just to have on hand. Like this I've been traveling with, and again, it has peace and hope because I've had a stressful week, maybe a stressful couple of weeks. And so I know that those are my 2 go-to oils in this season for stress. Travel can be stressful in general, so you definitely want to have some sort of emotional oils with you on hand. Okay, so we talked about this kit. If you've not seen this yet, let me explain this kit to you. It is 9 out of the top 10. We call it the top 10 because those are those in the family physician kit, and those 10 that a family and a home should really never be without. It doesn't have lemon because lemon is typically not used topically in its most common use. It has everything but lemon. Now, these oils, the 9 of them, are pre-diluted. So the beauty of pre-diluted oil rollers is that you can take them and you can use them on newborns, you can use them on elderly, you can use them on people with sensitive skin, and in traveling. So, man, just picture the scene, right? You don't want to be on an airplane with a screaming child or you feeling super stressed out and you have to get out your coconut oil, which is too big for an airplane, by the way. So if you're traveling with coconut oil, you need to put it either in a drip bottle, an empty drip bottle, or in an empty roller so that you can dilute. So you get your coconut oil out, you get your oil out, you're trying to, you don't have time for that, nor do you have emotional or physical energy or space. So these are awesome. If you don't have these on hand and you don't want to buy them this go around, that's okay. Just make sure that you've already pre-diluted those that you feel like you want to pre-dilute. I'm looking at this list. Yeah, I mean, all of these, we can use them pre-diluted as well. Again, I have lots of children, so we use this kit a lot. This is one of my favorites. So what can you use when you're actually out and about? Oh, please don't travel without Digest Zen. Please, please, please. Especially in the Asia region, but really anywhere. You're going to try new foods. You're going to be exposed to different germs, whatever. Traveler's belly. Digest Zen. Please don't go anywhere without Digest Zen. You can put it on your belly for bloating or gas or discomfort. You can apply it under your nose for motion sickness. I actually put 1 drop under my tongue for motion sickness as well. For motion sickness also, you can use peppermint. If you have constipation or indigestion or diarrhea, which of course, when we travel, we're more prone to, right? You can put a couple drops in water or 1 drop under your tongue again. And then if you get food poisoning, you can put them in a capsule as well. So you might want to travel with a couple capsules, empty capsules for you. If you're in different markets, you can actually get the Digest Zen already capsulated. Hotel sleep. This is interesting. I don't know if I would do this per se. Linen spray, we have one in the house, but would I travel with it? I don't know. It depends on where I was going, I guess. But search online for recipes. There's one lemon and lavender linen spray. If you had a small bottle, that would be useful. What I find that we do more often is put a drop of lemon and lavender in our hand and just kind of rub the pillow. That's what works for our family. But you can do whatever works for you. Better hotel sleep. If you have a challenge sleeping on the road, definitely make up a roller bottle. So you want to get an empty roller. This one's obviously On Guard, but This is a 10 mil roller, and you can make up your own better than ambient blend. Prepare it ahead of time, put a bit on your big toe before you sleep. Sometimes you can do behind your ears as well, in this kind of soft spot right here. It is amazing. You can do just the straight oil and then use a little bit, or you can use the straight oil and then dilute if you want to stretch it a little bit. And again, if you don't have these and you're traveling with your balance and your serenity or lavender piece, you can layer those on your big toe as well. And it helps with snoring, which is fantastic. Great general options, deep blue, especially if you're getting on a long flight. Deep blue for muscle pain is incredible. Some other pain relieving options: Aroma Touch, white fir, lemongrass, deep blue rub if you're in a market where you can get it. Do not travel without your deep blue rub. Wintergreen is also fantastic for muscle and joint discomfort as well. Lavender, if you're going to the beach, you definitely want your lavender and a coconut oil. If you want to take a coconut oil, just put it in your check-on or your check-in. If you want to take a proper 115 mil coconut oil, make sure that you put it in a Ziploc so that it doesn't leak. Tea tree, we don't go anywhere without tea tree because it kills everything, right? So you want an antiseptic, antibacterial, antiviral oil on hand. Oh gosh, for everything, even for a cold sore or for an earache. A friend of ours and a team member was literally on a boat in the middle of a river in the middle of China, and one of her sons got an ear infection an ear infection. He was complaining of ear pain, and she had peppermint and I think maybe lavender. And we're like, you're missing tea tree. So that's like worst case scenario, right? Which is why you should always be traveling with at least the top 10 on hand, and then adding a couple oils that you want to choose from. Your happy oils, you guys can choose. My family, we all have different happy oils, different oils that speak to us. My eldest daughter is Elevation. I'm Motivate. My second daughter is Cheer. My husband, he loves everything, so he's not picky. And then the babies, of course, they don't know any better. So they just go with what we put on them. For skincare, the Immortelle blend, the roller bottle, is super easy to take with you. You can put it here with your others, or you can just toss it in your makeup bag for glowing skin on the go, of course. And then frankincense. Frankincense is good for everything, remember. So I wouldn't travel without frankincense. I probably wouldn't take the whole big bottle of frankincense just in case, heaven forbid, you lose your oils. That'd be very sad to lose a whole frank. But we don't travel without frankincense for sure. Jet lag. This blend, which is really interesting, grapefruit, lavender, and bergamot. You can inhale it from your hand, so you can do a drop of each and then inhale and then apply on the back of your neck. So when something says inhale and apply on the back of your neck, I'm usually taking a couple drops, maybe some coconut oil, maybe not, inhaling, and then I'm not rubbing, right? I'm not rubbing on my hand, I'm rubbing here. Now, note, grapefruit and bergamot are citrus oils. Citrus oils and sun don't mix. Citrus oils make your skin photosensitive. So go easy on this. If it's like, oh, I'm jet lagged, but I'm at the beach, so I'm going to put this here and then head out and lay in the sun. Please don't do that. All the citrus oils and some of the blends that have citrus in it are also photosensitive. So if you're going to the beach, definitely Google doTERRA photosensitivity, and you'll have a list of oils that you should not be using at the beach. Before you go, use your resources, right? I mean, these classes are awesome. We love sharing. Those of us who teach love sharing our knowledge, but you are empowered to do your research as well. Pinterest, if you look up essential oils and travel, you will get so many cool things. This obviously screenshot came from a class I was doing, the beauty and essential oils, but make sure that you're prepared ahead of time and think about it, right? If you're going to the forest camping, you're going to make sure that you have Terra Shield, which is the repellent blend, right? So I didn't mention it here. Maybe it's coming up. I don't know. But you want to make sure that you're traveling with that. It's called Terra Shield, the repellent blend. If you're going to the beach, you want to make sure you have lavender for any sunblock. You might want to make your own sunscreen if you're going to the beach. So look on Pinterest or look in your Essential Life book for a sunscreen recipe and make sure that you're making that ahead of time. There are other traveling options, like this one's a really good one. If you're just starting out, this has about 7, and they're 2 mils. So they're a little bit bigger than the 1 mil, double the size to be exact. So this is nice if you're just going on a day trip, or this is something that you want to continuously keep in your purse. This is not just for rollers. It's big enough for a 15 mil and also a 5 mil. Obviously, you could put rollers in it, but it wasn't designed for that use. And then again, don't forget, we have these amazing drops. You want to be taking On Guard and Easy Air drops with you. Where else can we find resources? YouTube, man. You want to watch YouTube and you want to go through Pinterest with wise eyes. I wouldn't call them skeptics or skeptical eyes, but you want to make sure that you have the basis and that you're comparing things. If something sounds funny to you, then come back to your leader and make sure you're asking clarifying questions. But there's so many resources available for you. Don't forget too, doTERRA.com. If you get a new oil, every oil has a, it's called a PIP, product information page, that's downloadable, and it'll give you lots of uses for that new oil. doTERRAblog.com, loads of DIY stuff, recipes. All of my cooking classes, I get the recipes from here, and every recipe has been absolutely delicious. So if you've not checked out doTERRAblog.com, make sure that you do so. If you're brand new and you don't know what to get, make sure that you ask for a free wellness consult. What is a wellness consult? Depending where you are in the world, we do a phone call or a Zoom or Skype, or we can sit together. We can identify 3 or 4 areas that you would like to try essential oils for. There's some options there, but really the sky is the limit with oils. And then from there, we get your first, second, and third orders sorted. The reason is because we want to make sure that you're getting the oils that you need. An example of this, somebody said to me, hey, this is on WeChat, do you sell oils? And I said, well, I'm an oil educator. I help people set up their own VIP accounts. How can I help? And she said, I'm looking for lavender. And I said, fantastic, we have lavender. Can I ask what you're looking for lavender for? And she said, well, I heard that it was a pain reliever. Now, lavender is an analgesic, right? It has pain relieving qualities. But do we have better pain relieving oils? Absolutely. That is the point of a wellness consult, to use all of our knowledge to help our people to get exactly what they need so that their first oil experience is an incredible experience. So go ahead and stop here, schedule your wellness consult, and then you can continue. Well, we're going to talk about the starter kits, but most of you, I believe, on this call, live on this call with me, already have your starter kits available. So of course there's not available, have already set up your own accounts. So for sure, grab this if you're traveling with little kids. It just makes life easy. If you don't want to grab it, make sure you're diluting your own rollers. That's why keeping a couple empty bottles on hand is really good. Those 10 kits are available in a couple ways. This actually, they just updated the China kit. So they're the same kits, but they're a little bit different. And then I think, oh yeah. So how do you travel with them? This is really important because I've had lots of people say, I don't want my oils confiscated. And that's so true. You definitely don't want your oils confiscated. So you want to make sure that you're traveling with them. In China, I haven't had any problem with this, and I haven't had any problem with this. Okay. To be safest, you'd want to put them in a quart bag like we do with all of our other oils or other liquids, and then put them in the security bin. Now, 3 ounces is not 115. 3 ounces is like 100 milliliters, I think. So I think that our coconut oil, the fractionated coconut oil, is too big. So make sure that you're just traveling wisely so that nothing is confiscated. Here's some clever travel ideas. Again, roller bottles, you want to make sure that you're making your own blends ahead of time. That way you don't have to carry your big bottles, especially if you're just going away for a week. You know, make up that better than ambient blend in a roller bottle before you go. Make sure you label it, and then you're good to go. This little pouch down here. And then These are 10, 15 mil pouches. All of these, if you're in China, guys, all of them are on Taobao. We have a Taobao list. If you want it, you can send a note here and we'll get it to you. Also, if you're in the US, there's Amazon, there's oil tools, I think, in the US as well, that you can get all these cute little things to travel with. They're super fun. My favorite are sniffers. So the reason I like sniffers, so you can see it, there's like this wick here, and you put the wick inside the plastic, and then you drop oils on top of it, and then you cap it. What can you do with it? Okay, peppermint for headaches. So then you open it, and then you have a nice sniffer. Peppermint for headaches. You can make mood management ones for you and for your children. Make a couple ahead of time. Toss them in your bag. They're light. They weigh absolutely nothing. And if you lose them, it's only like 4 drops of oil that you lost. And they're super cheap, these sniffers. So especially if you're traveling, again, I have lots of small children, so I'm always trying to mitigate the risk of losing my oils. Great for headaches, great for car sickness, which in our family, we have lots of car sickness. Eucalyptus for the ears. It's a safe way to have your kids smelling eucalyptus or easy air on the airplane because the oil doesn't come out. It's just a sniffer. You can make them strong. You can make them weaker for kids or people with sensitivity. So sniffers, you can color code them. If you're dorky like me, I really enjoy it. So sniffers, got to pick yourself up some sniffers if you're traveling. Diffusing on the go. These are really interesting. I think that these are handmade diffusers, diffuser jewelry. So this is some sort of clay, I imagine, and then you drop the oil on the clay. We got diffusers on Taobao, and they're necklaces and bracelets that you open up and put the oil on. They're in the bathroom or in the room where the baby's sleeping, so I can't go and get it to show you. But diffusing on the go is really nice. Here's some other options. Look on Pinterest. It will give you all the recipes on how to make this yourself. I love that one that says Zoe, right? You can personalize them with your kids or for you, and then the kids can have fun dropping the oils on themselves. DIY car diffuser, that's just a couple pieces of felt. Again, we can be super, super, super creative, and it doesn't have to cost us a lot of money to keep our oils on the road with us. Oh, that's kind of hard to see, but what they did was clothespins, and they glued some felt animals, or there's a flower or whatever, and then you put the oil on the clothespin. So the homework from this class, you don't have to do the homework if you're not traveling, but this is kind of how I like to go about organizing my essential oil products for when I'm heading out somewhere. So we identify either your needs or your family's top needs, right? Look at where you're going, look at some of the challenges that you might come up against, look at the personal needs of your family. Make sure you do your research. So research natural solutions. That means the oils, the blends. If you don't know that a product exists, like lots of people don't even know about TerraShield, that we have a repellent blend. So make sure you're doing your research or asking your upline support. Make a plan and prioritize it. So what you don't want to happen is like, oh no, we're leaving in 3 days. Just bring them all. Because then they're like heavy and bulky. If you're going someplace warm, you don't want to keep them in the sun. You don't want to keep them in a car, locked in the car for too long. We went to Samoa over the Christmas break, and a couple of our peppermints went bad because we kept them in a hot car for too long. Do the work to be organized because it pays off, right? But don't overthink it because there's always options. That's why I love traveling with at least the top 10, because if you take that sheet, 150 things to do with a family physician's kit, I mean, pretty much all the things that you could manage, that you might need to manage, are going to be there, except maybe for the emotional support. You might want a wild orange or a couple of the blends for emotional support to have on hand. But then get excited. I don't know about you, but I just feel so empowered and so equipped when I have my oils on hand. Like, I'm much more brave, especially with the kids, because if they fall and they get busted up, it's all right. We got our oils, right? My husband and I were in Bali in January on the doTERRA trip that went to Bali, and we went whitewater rafting. Well, a day later, I had this like kind of crazy rash that looked I don't know. It could have been from a plant I was allergic to, or maybe jellyfish in the water. I don't know. But I kind of looked at it and I was like, oh, tea tree, lavender, frankincense, we'll be all right. You know, so there's just this peace of mind when you're traveling, especially if you're traveling to a place where you're not 100% sure how to navigate the medical system there. If it's a place you've not been, or a place that doesn't have super reliable medical care. You just want to have the basics on hand. Headaches, fevers, belly challenges, scrapes and bruises, first aid, all of that stuff you definitely just want to have on hand. For those of you, if you don't know how to buy doTERRA, please don't buy on Taobao, except for like these goodies, because we don't sell them on the doTERRA.cn website. To set up an account in China, it's free. You use a referral number, so you can't just go on doTERRA.cn and set up your own account. You need to use a referral number. So ask for the person who referred you to this video and use their referral number. Wholesale pricing is about 30% cheaper than retail pricing, which is why we don't sell retail, because it's silly. We want to encourage you to open your own wholesale account if you haven't already done so. In order to set up your own wholesale account, you need to order a certain amount of products, okay? In doTERRA world, we operate in point value, also known as PV. Okay, so each product, depending primarily on its cost, has a certain point value. So the idea of a wellness consult is to get you the products that you need that qualify you to open up your own account. Depending on the products, it could be 2 oils, it could be 5 oils, it could be 7 oils to get to 100 PV. In China, it's around 1,000 renminbi is a good ballpark in order to help you get your own account going. And the benefit of opening your own account is that you qualify to earn what we call LRP points, Loyalty Rewards Program points. So when you set up your own account and you order, you get free products. It's brilliant. You start earning 10% back, and the longer you're with doTERRA, you have the chance to earn 30% back. So I've been with doTERRA for about 1.5 years. I'm at that 30% range. So when I order 100 points in the month, I'm earning 30 points back that I can use next month to get free products. It is awesome. The Loyalty Rewards Program is absolutely incredible. I'm going to skip, I think, yeah, this is just more on getting started. You can start big, you can start small, you can start however you want. These are just some kit options. Again, the benefit of going through this is really sitting with your mentor, sitting with your upline, and making sure that you get the products that you need that will satisfy your needs. Okay, so make sure you're traveling. Make sure you're traveling. Even if you're a brand new oil user, please make sure you travel with at least the top 10, then do your research and figure out what else you need. And I think that's it. I think that's it. I'm going to open the lines, guys. I want to hear questions. Hold on a second. Let's pull everything. Oh, Morgan says balance for jet lag. Fantastic. All right, hold on. All right, I unmuted everybody, so go ahead and mute yourself if you're doing something loud, but I'd love to hear questions.
No questions.
No questions? Is that Maria?
Yeah, this is really cool. I loved your class.
Do you travel with anything, nice, Maria, that I missed?
I love Liang Liang these days because it's so calming. It just helps me keep calm, and my citrus bliss. They are my calming oils. But I have one. So basically, in the winter, I had my little set of traveling oils.
Yep.
And now that it's starting to be summer, I changed them because I felt like I needed something different.
Oh, interesting. Sure. Thanks, Maria.
I know it takes time, but it's like it gets you inspired to be on the mood.
Yeah. Hey, Kelly, which website? Kelly said, can I see the website again? Which website? Anybody else have any questions, comments, things I missed, things that you love to travel with? This one, Kelly?
One of my favorite recipes for jet lag is in the Essential Life Sauce. Is Morgan. And it's a bath and shower combination that uses rosemary and lavender in the bath. And then you get out of the warm bath and take a really cold shower. I did that when we traveled from Vietnam to New York over the Chinese New Year. And it was my lifesaver.
Wait, what was that? Rosemary and what?
I think it was rosemary and lavender. It's a jet lag bath, but it's in the Essential Life. You do like 4 drops of each with some baking soda or Epsom salts.
Yeah.
And then you follow the bath with a really cold shower, and it really does you up. And then I like, actually, Andy Goddard is the one who told me about the balance under the nose, because it helps you feel grounded wherever you've landed. He's saying there's something with how when you travel a very far distance, your physical body arrives before, you know, like the spiritual, emotional side of you. So bringing the balance will kind of help bring the two back together, is the way he explained it to me.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
So yeah, but rosemary with lavender and balance are my jet lag oils.
Love that. Thanks, Morgan.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Anybody else? All right. If not, I'm going to close it off. Thanks for coming today, guys. I'm going to upload it to the YouTube channel. If you've not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do. And next week, I don't even know what we're doing. Let's see. I can pull up next week. Maybe I can't pull up next week. Here we go. Screen. Let's see what we're doing next week. Next week, oils for babies, kids, and teens. Yay! Love oils for babies, kids, and teens. All right, guys. Best to you all. And until next time.